What is up, YouTube? My name is Brandon and this is the 7.3 Garage. Thank you for watching. I've had some issues with my Steadicam. Thanks for hanging in there as well. I appreciate all the support that I've gotten over the past couple weeks trying to get this page rolling. So here we are finally. I'm going to go ahead today and do an in-depth tour of the truck and answer any questions if anybody has any in the comment sections that I don't cover. Feel free to ask questions, message me, be more than happy to answer them. So let's go ahead and get to it. My truck's a 1997 F250 heavy duty edition. I've had the truck just about 8 years. I purchased back in 2010 when I was in high school, and I've had it ever since. All the modifications I've done have been done in my garage. The only thing I've taken to the shop for was for the transmission and get the AC worked on. Everything else I've done myself, which is kind of something to be happy about, to take some pride in. But for what I've done to it, the truck definitely does hold its own, and it does pretty well on the street and at the track. So we'll start talking about what I got done to the truck as it sits right now. It's my daily driver. I wanted a setup that was going to be reliable, but at the same time have that aggressive street attitude, and that's kind of what I got out of it. So the truck right now, as it sits, I have 200% fuel injectors from Swamp's Diesel Performance, a T4 mount S369 SXE charger from Irate Diesel Performance. All the up pipes and the intercooler pipes came from them. The intercooler I also purchased from Irate, but it's a Super Duty Mishimoto bolt-in intercooler that I had to make brackets for to mount it up on the frame. Works very well, keeps the temperatures kind of in check. I really don't pay attention to my barometer gauge when I'm racing or when I'm having fun, but it's going to be hot no matter what, so I don't care, but just the nature of the beast, it is what it is. But the truck definitely holds its own, like I said, on the street and at the racetrack. Fuel system, I'm running Irate's electric fuel system with a Fuel Lab Prodigy pump. It came with the Walboro pump. I had an issue with it when I was rebuilding the truck, so I ended up getting rid of that and just put the race pump on there. Works awesome. Never had an issue with it. The pump runs really well and supplies the injectors with all the fuel that they need. So for oil, I'm running a Adrenaline high pressure oil pump from Diesel Site. I'm also running Diesel Site's Legendary Series E4OD transmission with a Hercules converter and an ATS billet flex plate. The transmission is absolutely fantastic. I've had no issues with it. All of Diesel Site's transmissions are hand built by Bob Riley in-house. They even put it on a transmission dyno, run it through its paces, let it shift, make sure it's good before they actually ship it out to the customer. Amazing customer service, awesome company if anyone's looking forward to any of their products, or looking for any of their products, I should say. Bob Riley, Dan Shoda over at Diesel Site, thank you. Transmission is amazing, have not had any issues with it, so I look forward to doing business with those guys in the future. So as far as cooling goes, I know I've already mentioned the Mishimoto intercooler. That's a drop-in aluminum core Super Duty cooler that I had to make the brackets for, like I told you before. Works very well. I'm also running a Durelli transmission cooler with a fan on it. I was purchased through Matt Mayer at Irate Diesel Performance. He gets all my parts for me, so thank you, Matt. Really good dude. Knows OBS and 7.3 trucks very well, and he's extremely knowledgeable. But I got the fittings and all the lines and stuff from Chuck Dorsey over at Dorsey Diesel Performance. He has custom fittings made so you can run a cooler, whether it's in the bed or whether it's you have it under the truck like I do. So I'll go ahead and show you that now. So here's where the fan sits. Works very well. I have a 180-degree thermostat in it, so as soon as the transit hits 180, it turns the fan on, and I believe it shuts off at about 160 or 165. But it definitely keeps my temps low, and it works awesome. Haven't had it. I'm trying to get this thing. Bear with me. I'm trying to get used to using this thing here, but it works awesome. I think I paid about $300 for it. It's definitely worth every penny if you're looking for a good aftermarket cooler. I want to go ahead and show you guys what the fuel system looks like. So this is not the competition fuel system from Irate Diesel Performance, but I kind of made it the competition system. I don't know how good of a shot that is, but that's the actual fuel system there. It works awesome. That's the Fuel Lab pump. And this is actually their old kit that they used to have. The new kit is actually pretty badass. It has the machine-built aluminum housing for the filters and everything, and this one gets the job done and works very well. I've never had any issues with it. So I do get a lot of questions about if my intercooler pipes are polished. They're actually not polished. They're actually ceramic coated. So it's a polished ceramic coat, if you will. They work great. They actually keep the temperatures down a lot, especially on the cold side. After all the air goes through the intercooler and before it goes into the motor. I got that done down in Davie, Florida. There's a shop down there called Hot Shots Performance Coatings. They did a great job, and it really keeps the temps down when I'm driving the truck around on the street. All right, so let's go ahead and take a peek at the interior. So this is just your basic blue on blue interior, any standard OBS. The only thing I've really changed on the inside is the steering wheel and the actual dash pad over there. Mine was kind of rotting, so I went ahead and bought a new one. It took me forever to find a blue one. I guess they're just not as, it's not really a common color for an interior for these trucks, so it took me a while to find one. The truck was it's been this clean since I've bought it. The interior is awesome. It was just a husband and a wife that owned the truck. The back seat was never sat in, and it just has a super small tear in the headliner, which has been there since I bought it, and I really haven't cared about it enough to replace it, so it kind of just sits, and it doesn't really bother me that much, so I figured whatever. So the steering wheel I get a lot of questions about. It's a Grant racing wheel I bought from Summit Racing. This has a hub adapter, I believe, for a 250 350 truck, and it went right on there. I love it. Something different. My old steering wheel was peeling and the plastic was starting to show and leaving like a nasty sticky black residue on my fingers, so when every time I drive it, and I got tired of it, so I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna buy a brand new racing wheel for it. So it definitely works pretty well for me. The other thing I get questions about is my gauge pod. This is actually for a Super Duty steering column. However, it fits right on. You just have to trim a little bit where the what's it called, the turn signal is. Other than that, it goes right on there, and I haven't had any issues with it. You run your wires like normal, right? I ran them down the steering column and under the hood and tapped into the ICP sensor on the driver's side head. So I have all the standard gauges everybody else has, just pyrometer, trans temp, boost gauge. I'm running a Hydra chip with Brian Jelich's tunes from Jelly Boat Performance. Brian's awesome. He's helped me out a lot. Really has the truck running great, and I have no complaints about that. All right, so we're gonna go for a little ride here. I'll talk about what I like with how the turbo set up, the injectors, and show you kind of how the power comes on. Brian has a different tuning style from what I've seen from other tuners. He likes to bring the power on down low, or excuse me, on top when you're in there in the power band. Some other tuners like to bring the power in low, which is great. The truck feels good down low, but it's actually kind of playing with fire with the bottom ends in these trucks. They really don't like the power down low, but they could take everything up top, so that's kind of cool. So we'll go for a little spin here. Give you a taste of how the power comes on and how it shifts. It's about half throttle. You can see the power it's nice and smooth, and it's not too crazy. Converter locks right up, boost comes on well. It's actually not too smoky, believe it or not. With that 369, it actually, if you roll into the power, it keeps it pretty clean, which is nice for the street. But if you're like rolling from a 60, the truck with the 355 slopes up top, so here's a little downshift. So Brian, you're the man. Definitely brings the power on awesome. No complaints with it. I have a lot of pulse width left on the table, and I can still go bigger on a charger and things like that. But as of right now, I really like how the truck drives, and it's got what I want. I just want to get a bigger oil system on here and really see how it would run with the Gen 3. That's all I got for this video. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Look forward to making other videos. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to comment your suggestions, send them to me. I'd be more than happy to do that. I have a couple ideas coming up here for some new videos, but we'll see how this one does. So again, thanks for watching. This is the 7-3 Garage. I'm Brandon. Peace.